Well, I'm going to try filming this again. I don't think it's going to work. This is Margaret Ann Windsor is my real name, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. Both twins, Peggy and Dempsey and Carl Dempsey, were born out of wedlock, and they'd been killed by their mother. So I'm assuming I was flown in to Cortland Air Base, which had just been built there, near Moulton. Anyway, I found out my real name in '83 after I'd been in a political campaign and written a book actually about mind control murders. Back in 76, 77, 78, 79, I was trying to get it published. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, near Marietta, where, that's Cobb County, by the way, where I was doing the book. And I was flown up there in '83 during a campaign, and he actually did a editorial April of '84 saying I knew who was responsible for his shooting and the death of his attorney there in Lawrenceville. But I'm just going to read this off in case this goes up this time, and that's all I'm going to do. I put this on YouTube, up Facebook. I've beat the doors down when I had no money to even live or eat to the media, who's controlled by the Rockefellers, and they really just don't want to tell it. It's really ugly. Media is supposed to tell you. And I say this, they were interviewing, I hope I've got the names right, Elliot Roger was the son in Santa Barbara that was supposedly responsible for the killings there. Last week, the father was interviewed, Peter, on 2020, who they all know this, the media does, about mind control murders. Barbara Walters interviewed him, and he was saying that his son, he was so sorry his father was saying that inside the son was different than what he was on the outside that he showed. Well, I got news for you. That's what mind control is, if anybody cares to Google it or YouTube it or look up people who have risked their lives to tell the truth. And I hope I'm not being redundant here. I've put some of this up in it. YouTube, for some reason, it's not filming. Cooper Harris is a young felon. It's being buried in Tuscaloosa. He was 22 months old. He was left in his father's car in Cobb County, Georgia. And they had moved over there. The father and mother had, he went to work for Home Depot there in Atlanta. Now that he left his son in the car for something like 7 hours, and the son died, he was strapped in the car seat. Now then, they're saying they went back and looked at computers, and all this, they go back and look, well, not all of them, but they go back and look on computers because it's so methodical. Behavior modification, all of it. Evidence is all bogus, but it's there. They're being programmed. So the father is actually told to forget his son's even in there, or the child's even in there, and this has happened before. So I'm not going to get into the patterns and stuff. That's the Cobb County is enough. That's where so much was done to me. And I'm going to mention a DA that I knew. Buddy Darden ran in the campaign that I ran in. He's one that, and I liked him. He prosecuted the Warren and Rosina Matthews murders, and one of the witnesses was under hypnosis. Now, mind control obviously gets into a whole different area, but anyway, Buddy Darden ran in the campaign and won it, the special election in '83 when Larry McDonald, the congressman doctor I wrote about and wrote about mind control and the murders that happened at Piedmont Hospital where he practiced, his plane went down August the 31st of '83. And I was in that special election, flown out to Larry Flint's, who'd been shot by a person programmed in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I'm in Marietta again, I'll say that. And Buddy Darden won. As far as I know, he's a good guy, but he was the district attorney in part of this. Now then, the other district attorney reopened that case again, that one case. But Tom Sharon, I was in his office several times while I did the book, And nobody, I had a letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved. June the 23rd, 79, it was dated. April Fool Day of 80, I'm filled full of antifreeze, should have died. Transported illegally across the state line to Huntsville, where later, a couple months later, I managed to live, and it was hell. You can't take your brain out and show what people have done to you. Um, I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, Madison County DA, Huntsville, Alabama. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go back to mental illness has been blamed for all this. Mind control is just a weapon. And it's in mass now. They can do anything with it. Edward Snowden, and I hope I'm not being redundant. I've done several tapes and they're not going up, videos. Edward Snowden just touched the tip of the iceberg on all this. But the Minnesota team that supposedly planned all the bombing and all this, like Columbine, actually was like chirping out what was programmed into him. He's a victim of mind control. He even said, well, I must be mentally ill. My parents were good. I wasn't bullied. He was going to kill them. They don't even know. It's beyond me because the information's out there. If you didn't want to listen to me and the ones that can be proven, all you have to do is go to YouTube or Google. Now then, I brought that about the young fellow in Cobb County from Tuscaloosa, home of the state mental health, Tuscaloosa, home of the Crimson Tide, who I happen to be for. Okay, did I get the one? I said that about Elliot Rogers, the shootings in Santa Barbara, and his father, Peter Rogers, interviewed by 2020, and I wonder why they didn't tell him what was really wrong. And he was saying his son, he was so sorry for what his son had done, and Adam Lambert's father actually said he wished his son had never been born. You've got James Holmes of the Aurora, Colorado. This goes way, way back before back to the Texas Tower shootings at the college there in Texas. It goes way, way back. I don't know how long. It's the Tesla files that were stolen in 1930. I had another one on here I was going to mention, and I don't guess I will. Anyway, I'm not sure this is going to, I didn't give any backup on it. I doubt it'll go, but the whole point is they can do anything with it. They can wipe out the fact you left your child in the car and the child dies and you pay for the crime, just like the young fellows James Holmes or Adam Lambert or you name it, or the young fellow over here at Virginia Tech turned around and shot himself after shooting all the students because he was commanded to do it. Then I'll mention this one was the psychiatrist, Fort Hood shooter, and he was from Tech, and he actually was born here in Roanoke, Roanoke County. So I think the media should go to somebody who knows what's going on rather than going to the psychiatrist and the psychologist for their information, or maybe to some of these agents they're going to.